Hello and welcome to another amazing episode of us sharing about this new book that we got to write together. And today I have the beautiful Michelle Perez Rodriguez to share her experience of writing her chapter of Rooted to Rise, where we are all rooted in our stories and showed up to rise to the occasion and share our stories. And so today, this is Michelle, and I get to share her with all of you. She is such an amazing person to me. And the fact that she said yes was such an honor when I presented this book to a huge group of women that we've been together for like 6-7 years on this shared journey of telling others about the power of the plant. And so, Michelle, would you like to introduce yourself today?
Hello, everybody. I'm Michelle Perez Rodriguez. I am a widow, a mom of 2 grown kids and 1 grandbaby. And I am just excited and grateful and blessed to be sharing my story with you, because without this opportunity, not very many people would actually get to hear my story.
Yeah. So with that, what made you say yes when I put it out there and you were one of the first ones? You were like, yes, no hesitation. So can you share with us a little bit about that moment for you?
Yeah, so I saw when you put it out there, it took me a second. I was like, I knew I wanted to share my story, but I was like, I'm not an author. I can't write like that. Yeah, I probably shouldn't. But I was like, but who else is going to hear my story if I don't share it with people? Because you don't always, you can't find like a mass group of people and share your story, because you know that your story is going to touch at least one person in your life. So I, so my one of my oldest girlfriends, her name was Sandy. She passed away just a few months ago, and she's an author. And I was always so inspired by her. She taught me business. She taught me, I don't know how many things, business wise, entrepreneur wise. But I, I don't even know how to put it, I guess. I just wanted to be, I guess, kind of like on the same level, just keep rising, because you get to a certain point when you're an entrepreneur, like where you're kind of stuck or whatever. And I never would have thought that I would have actually had the opportunity to be in a book, be a published author, or even have the opportunity. So I was like, yes.
What a beautiful way to honor your friend Sandy. Is
Thank
almost like
you.
she, started that legacy that you get to carry on and continue to honor her. And I love that. Thank you for sharing that such bold
Yeah.
piece of what has happened over the last few months. When you sat down to write, whether it was pen to paper, typing in front of the computer, maybe even starting on your phone, some of us write things down on our phone all the time. What made you keep going? I know that you shared that you had the desire to be an author, but I'm sure you encountered a lot of, I wouldn't say necessarily setbacks, but possibly things that would get in the way. Time always gets in the
Obstacles.
way, obstacles, all of the things. And so much life has happened since you said yes. So is there any part of that that you'd like to share with us, possibly because somebody else might be encountering it or sitting on the fence, wondering if they should say yes to?
Yeah, definitely. There was a point in time where I took myself out of the group, and I was like, I can't do it. Like, I'm just gonna have to be the one that's like back out. And because there was a lot of obstacles in my way, life. I'm a widow. My 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 youngest, she moved away, her husband got a new job opportunity, and they moved to Minnesota. So there was so many things that I was like, can I really sit down and focus and write a chapter about myself? And what do I say and how do I say it? And then, of course, for anybody, like financial burden, comes like with bills and a single income. And it's just like, how do I do this and manage to be able to be authentic in my story and because not be someone who just is just there, I guess. I don't, I just wanted to make sure that people understood what I want to say and how I feel. But I had a great support system. So I think it's very important that you have a support system that keeps cheering you on and telling you, nope, 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 come back in. You're going to do this with us. So I am so blessed and I'm so grateful because I was still like, okay, yes, 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 I will do this.
I love that, because sometimes the hardest things are the things that are meant to happen the most, right? It's so important, the obstacles aren't for us to stop. It's actually kind of a supportive way to get to the other side of that story that we have to share. Storytelling is so imperative. Like you said, with entrepreneurship, it's imperative just as a human being that people know that they're not alone, that there's aspects of other people's stories, that there's solutions to things, and all of the different parts of that, that the things that get in our way, we have a choice each step of the way. And we can say yes or no, yes or no, yes or no, as we go along. And that feeling of, like your chapter is in the editor's hands for final edits and everything. What are you feeling right now? Like you're an overcomer on so many levels, since I know you on a personal level as well. But perhaps this was something you had to overcome for so many reasons. So how are you feeling now that your final draft is in the editor's hands?
I am feeling proud of myself because I didn't let those obstacles like define me and make me stop. It made me keep going. I was like, I can do this. Like I can sit here and I can write a story, even if it sounds crazy. Like I can sit here and write a story about how I feel, what I went through. I can do this. And I could not be more proud of myself because like I said, I'm not a writer. I'm not that great at English. I'm just a person. I'm just a human. So to be able to, I guess, kind of like be on that elite level and be in a book and be called a published author, like I'm very proud. Like I couldn't be more proud of myself. I think this is the the proudest I've ever been. I've always been a go-getter. I've always, rose to the top, whether it was in business, in school, or whatever. I always had to be, at that top level with everybody else. I wasn't sure if I could do it, and I did it. So I'm so proud of myself.
Yes, you did. And what I think people need to realize is that you don't have to be a writer per se. You don't have to, be proficient in the English language and all of that thing. That's part of the journey. But you have a voice and you used your freaking voice, and it's going to help so many people. And I too am super proud of you. It's not even a full circle moment. Like we're still going, we're still having that ripple effect. But to get to do life with you on this level now, there's no stopping you. There's no stopping you. And I really feel deep down that this is just the beginning of you sharing your story on such big levels. It's just, people are going to connect with you on such a beautiful level, whether they know you or not. they're going to get to know you even better. And they're going to get to know a part of you, just like your friend Sandy, that you got to know her on a different level. And who knows who you paved the way for, that their story is just waiting. And because you were a pioneer, because you were courageous enough, that's really what it comes down to, is that you are paving the way for people that you know and don't know, even on that level. So I too am very proud of you. I wanted to share that. So with that, do you have any words of encouragement for aspiring authors? Do you have any words of wisdom of like kind of debunking those personal lies that we kind of tell ourselves? I know you shared quite a bit of that, but is there anything else that's standing out that you want to share with anyone?
Yes, definitely. You definitely don't have to be a writer. You don't have to come from people who are authors. You just have to be a voice, like you said. Like if there's something that you want to share with people, be that voice, be different, and tell your story, because there's somebody out there, one person, there's at least one person that this story is going to touch. They're going to be like, shit, I went through this. I went through that too. You, because in this, we talk about the plant, but there's other obstacles that I went through that came with that. So I am so excited to be able to tell my story, because everybody thinks of the plant as a different, you know, not everybody's on the same page. And I just want to be that voice of how great it is and why I choose to continue to be a voice for it.
Yes, I love that. Well, you have shared so much from your heart. Everything you do, everything you say comes directly from your heart. But is there anything else that is just waiting to be said today on this podcast? Is there anything, anyone in particular that you kind of have on your heart or mind that you just want to share? Something that doesn't even have to be book related if it doesn't, if you don't want it to be. What's on your heart and mind today, Michelle?
Um, I just know, like, my husband who passed away would be so freaking proud of me to continue to do my journey that he supported me for. And to be able to do this with him not here, having widow brain, having to make sure, your grown children are okay, I think is the best feeling actually in the world, because not everybody can go to the end. They'll just stop and just be like, I just can't do it, and be done. And I just know he'd be so proud that I didn't quit.
I know he would be proud of you, and he is proud of you, just as everyone who surrounds you with all the love. You can't not love you. And I know that he is proud of you. And you just, I can't wait for people to read your story that also includes your husband and get to know him through your eyes and your heart. And again, you're honoring two people, because he's not here to share. You did it for him. And I know that there's aspects in your chapter where it's both of you talking, not just your voice. And in some
Definitely.
cases, it's perhaps maybe his voice. Who knows? Well, thank you so much. Is there anything else you want to share today? I just, to know you is to love you. So I'm very excited I get to share you with everyone.
I just want to thank you guys, you and James. Like, I am so grateful and I feel so blessed. James was the first one to actually get to read my story besides myself. because the two people I would have shared it with first definitely didn't get to. So I'm just thankful and grateful and thank you.
Well, we're thankful and grateful you said yes. So thank you for that, because it took a lot for both of us to get to this point together. And so thank you. So I
Thank you.
appreciate that. Well, thank you everyone for listening. I'm so glad I got to share Michelle with all of you. And this is just the beginning. The book is going to come out very, very soon. And then once the book is released, we get to do another podcast with all the authors. So you get to hear how Michelle is processing having her story out there. It's one thing to write it and all that. That's chapter 1. No pun intended. And then chapter 2 is, all right, the book is released and people have read it. And so we're going to capture those moments as well. So again, thank you for listening and have a great day. Thanks, Michelle.
Thank you. Thanks.